Are we making noise? Are we waking noise?
Are we waking noise?
Yeah.
Waking and making? Wake and make. Hey, everybody, this week is a whopper. Whoa, I got one on my fishing line.
Wow.
Okay, it starts with two major planetary shifts, the Sun and Mercury, and ends with a lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus.
Stay tuned for a look into the astrology of the week of 10/22 and what it could mean for you personally and creatively.
Oh, does anyone want to go on a deep dive into the sign of Scorpio? What kind of question is that, right? Does anyone want to go on a deep dive into the sign of Scorpio? Don't be afraid. Stick around because that's next.
Dun dun dun!
If you like our energy and vibe, please like this video, follow us, and hit the bell for notifications. Share this with your like-minded friends.
And visit our website. The link is in the notes below. You can listen to a short-form daily forecast on the media player there or anywhere you get your podcast.
Oh, hello, beautiful friends. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Lunar Weekly Astrocat Preview, where we get to ask lots of questions like, are you ready to concentrate and focus?
Intentions set, our intentions well met.
I am Shane Terrell Jensen. I'm an astrologer, and I like to interpret the daily influence of the moon and on us and our environs against the backdrop of modern Western astrology.
And I'm Carrie Jensen. I'm a kitchen witch, co-conspirator, songstress, and neurospicy nerd for all things New Age. Let's get things started.
This is a big week. And it starts off like an outdoor music festival. It's a beautiful day for it, actually. It was this morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, boom, boom, boom.
Three
One of the main
stages.
stages, we have Mercury entering Scorpio. This is a dark wave event that pulses with magma-colored lights. And against a beautiful Hawaiian backdrop. I suppose this is as good a place as any to begin.
Oh, Hawaiian backdrop with Mercury entering Scorpio. We're talking about Haumea here with the Hawaiian backdrop, huh? Now, just a quick reminder, Haumea is named after the Hawaiian goddess of birth and fertility, like we went over last week. Haumea is the third largest Kuiper Belt object and has 2 moons, despite only being 1/14 the size of the Earth. She's essentially an Earth goddess as well.
Haumea is sitting at the entrance to Scorpio. Where in the entrance to Scorpio is Haumea? Where's she at? 0 degrees, 29 minutes. Kuiper Belt objects are not known for their alacrity. Okay, she was at 21 minutes a couple of weeks ago. Okay, Haumea and Mars are both in Scorpio. Mercury gets all goth and semi-mopey in this sign. You know, it's just like, it's the cool thing to do, right? After all, it is the official sign of Halloween.
Yes.
That's cool, right? But what makes a Scorpio a Scorpio?
What makes a Scorpio a Scorpio?
Poisonous tails? Yeah, I haven't seen any on any that I know.
Well, Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac. The constellation Scorpius is where the sun will be rising and setting in.
Like 2,000 years ago, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I digress there, though, however. Scorpio is a water sign and is a fixed modality. Now, that's a fancy way of saying that Scorpio falls in the middle of the season. See what I did there? Falls, autumn. Fixed signs are the expression of the season. The heart of the fall is Scorpio. Naturally, right? They have a relentless character and are stubborn to the point of obsession. They like to finish what they start.
Heck yes. Scorpio is a water sign. And water signs are more about emotions. Water is often associated with subconscious thoughts and feelings, intuition, and psychic ability. They know more about hidden mysteries, and Scorpio has a reputation of the most occult interested of all the signs, water included.
Yeah, water signs can be pretty occult interested too, like Pisces or
Very
Cancers.
much so, yeah.
However, Scorpio
Takes the
that
cake
to the extreme.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Takes the cake. One of those like inky black cakes.
Yeah, inky black cakes.
That make you go interesting colors for weeks.
There you go. Now we're going to get to talk about polarity. Scorpio has a feminine polarity. All signs have a polarity. They're either masculine or feminine. It doesn't have to do with male or female. It's just how that sign has been seen to interact throughout the ages. Female polarity means that these signs prefer to be receptive rather than aggressive or maybe the epitome of passive-aggressive for Scorpio, right? They think in a nonlinear fashion, and they seem to the untrained eye to be a bit on the passive side.
That being said, Scorpio isn't passive. They're studying your weaknesses. They will test you with little psychic mind games. Most of them are unaware that they're even doing it. It just comes to them naturally.
Scorpio doesn't want to get entangled unless it knows everything. Scorpio will take what it wants, especially if it involves any combination of sex or magic. Once their interest is piqued, they are obsessive. This is the person who sifts through all your online stuff, every social media post, every picture, and every article and every mention of you that you may possibly have.
Oh my goodness.
This makes Scorpio secretive and suspicious, yet highly effective. They are excellent button pushers, and they can always get what they want in a very understated and often underhanded way. They want to know everything about you without letting you know very much about themselves.
There's a quiet power that's all in the eyes, oftentimes. They draw you in with an almost magnetic intensity. If you have a Scorpio ascendant or Pluto in your first house, you'll share this magnetic intensity with the sun sign natives.
Most Scorpios are quite comfortable discussing things that other folks are kind of squeamish about, right? Death, regeneration, coroners and stuff like that. A lot of them are Scorpios, okay? Those people like, the CSI people and stuff like that.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, my Scorpio ascendant, that's still completely comfortable.
Death and regeneration are 8th house themes. They're like the pinky and the brain of the zodiac. World domination seems like a nice goal, right?
Yeah. I suppose we need to mention that the sign Scorpio has 2 rulers. Mars has always been the traditional ruler of this potent sign. Here, the energy of Mars becomes focused inward. Mars carries a shield. The internalized shield becomes a carapace.
Yeah, once that power goes inside, it goes outside, and it's like Iron Man's armor going on, right?
It's very cool.
Like that.
Very cool. And of course, we know the other ruler is now Pluto since Pluto had
that's
been discovered.
That's considered the modern ruler, correct. This armor all over is further enhanced by a venomous sting. A sword, like Mars carries for Aries, the sword, requires strength and skill. A poisonous sting requires an opening. Scorpio knows where the weak spots are. Trust me.
Oh, yes. Even though they're well armored, a Scorpio's weak spot is regular habits. Like clockwork. Like clockwork, they're easy to figure out. But beware, if you think about getting a jump on one, they're usually one step ahead of you. And vengeance will be theirs. Remember that obsessive streak? No? Well, they haven't forgotten you.
Scorpios can be very empowering and uplifting, however. They will do or say just about anything to be in a position of power. And they're quite good at attaining their goals. They are generally self-interested, but then again, the same goes for all of the fixed signs.
Oh, yeah. Well, Scorpio's obsessions in particular especially extend into the bedroom. Everything is intense and very much driven by a cult of personality. Like that whole, it's me, it's you, let's go.
This powerful drive is a result of having Mars as a traditional ruler. Mars energy in Scorpio is very directed, focused, and deliberate. Mars in Aries does everything fast. Mars gets mad, blows up, and it's over. Don't piss off the Scorpio, okay? It moves on to Mars will move on to the next obstacle and go, I need it.
Scorpio's like that elephant memory. They never forget. Oh, Lord.
Oh, they will get you. They will get you. Scorpio and the water signs operate very much differently than Mars does in fiery Aries.
Intuitively, mysteriously, and never forgetting.
Water signs deal with anger in ways that are different. Cancers will tattle to your mother, perhaps, or, similar authority. Oh, my God. Pisces won't fight back. God will get you, okay?
Yeah,
If not God, karma, lightning, fire, brimstone, some form of divine retribution is what you shall reap.
Yeah, Pisces just says, screw you, and then, you'll get gotten.
They'll go feeling hurt for a long time.
Yeah.
But you will get yours, trust me.
Yeah.
This is where it gets personal, okay? Then there's Scorpio.
This is where it gets personal. Pisces takes it, Cancer deflects it, Scorpio feeds on it. But hang on, this doesn't seem very balanced, does it? The emotions and passions may run very deep. But isn't Scorpio where Mars exhibits a different side? Intelligence?
Oh, well, I don't know. I need the thing to change.
Oh, well, how about that?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Why is it not going?
You might need a battery. I don't know. All right. Look, like I said, that's a good point if the thing ever changed. In Aries, that intellect is quick and very decisive. You have to be decisive to be that active, right? In Scorpio, this same trait, and it's also intuitive, which is really strange. However, I digress. In Scorpio, the same trait becomes much more veiled and cunning, okay? Aries is like, hey, I'm here and I'm going to do this. And I do this the best of anybody. Scorpio's like, let's see about that.
Yeah,
it's the same way your cat's looking at you right now, right?
Oh, secretly plotting my demise. Sounds about right.
Well, it does look at you lovingly first, though.
Oh, yeah.
As we prepare to enter the Scorpio season, we would be wise to remember that cats don't secretly plan for anyone's demise. They do it openly. They're just really good at concealing their intentions, like a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're done with that, that's going to bring us to the season of the witch, okay? And this is going to give us something that we're going to be able to tap into. It's time to fully release yourself from those things that you were asked to get rid of as the planets are leaving Libra, that kumbaya land of like everything all together. It wasn't like that at all, was it? No, it was very, very trying, and it was very fraught with some things. There was some major crap that happened all around, and all the diplomacy in the world couldn't deal with it. Now, why would that be? I'm not quite sure, because the answer, though, is sitting across from Libra and Aries. We've got old wounds that came up, old wrongs that were never righted. That whole Chiron thing opposite where all the planets in Libra were, the nodes of fate coming to play, and everybody just like, what is it time for? You know what it's time for? It's time for the planets to get rid of that stuff. It's time for us to get rid of that stuff and move on, and we got to cross 0 degrees of Scorpio. We will need to be true unto ourselves, okay? Forget about the stuff that's out there. The intensity of transformation that was asked of us as we enter this season is just the beginning. It's going to require persistence, patience, and discipline. And this right here is a time when we're going to be able to actually apply that. This is where Pluto square helps us by forcing us to commit. We will need to commit to this idea. Saturn, the time master, the time lord, so to speak, of our zodiac, Saturnian limitations are here to help.
Yes, limitations can be helpful. We've said many times.
It is. And you know what? It's just about decision time. The energy surrounding all of these changes is vast. We will need some very quiet time to process this reset. We're in uncharted waters, and it's time that we will need to navigate by the stars. Mercury is racing and will catch up with Mars just after this week ends.
Now, Mercury's very impressionable as he enters Scorpio. He loves the dark energy of Scorpio. In our thing, the merging of energy of Scorpio and Virgo in the colder months. Mercury absorbs the energy and vibe of this realm. We change up our thought process and how we go about expressing the first line of our ideas.
This is a good time of year to contemplate these larger picture issues. We will become very inquisitive, maybe even a tad obsessed once we begin to focus. The dynamic of what we're trying to communicate will change as we gather more knowledge. If you have Pluto or an 8th house connection, this is very important. Your Mars placement is also going to play a role in this. And if you need some help with that, hit us up in the emails, folks. Throw a comment in there. We will be willing to help you discover some of that stuff.
Yeah, we do this. We certainly can interpret charts. So, yeah, throw some numbers at us. Feel free. Need, birth date, birth time, location?
Yep,
Pretty
that
much.
would be required.
That indeed.
You might not want to do that by comment, but go to the website and look us up, and you can email it to Stella at dailyastrocat.com.
All right. Now, Mercury really speeds up at this point after being conjunct with the sun. I guess that means our mental processes will also speed up?
I certainly hope so. It had better not mean that I begin talking faster.
Oh, no.
I have no filter as it is. So, fortunately, I'm doing pretty good today, though.
Yeah,
pretty
you are.
measured.
Yeah,
okay?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
I didn't need the reinforcement. I'm just noticing myself.
I'm noticing me.
Yes.
I'm so measured.
I am. Yes. This will make us tend to be a little more guarded and less freewheeling in the things that we choose to share.
Oversharing is a problem? The sun will take care of this, though, you say? The sun will be the last planet to enter Scorpio until Venus does so on December 4th.
Oh, stuff. What are we going to do with stuff? Stuff is actually going to get quite intense. Focus that intensity on yourself, your health, and your current relationship. All three things are interconnected in ways you don't quite put together. You're not going to be able to because the intensity of Scorpio. You want to be sure that you realize what those limitations are. Sure, we kind of know what about that mind-body connection, but think about it. You're going to actually have to do the work.
The work? Yeah. Saturn is practically the gatekeeper of Scorpio at this point.
All the planets that are entering it are sitting in a very pretty trine with Saturn. Saturn, taskmaster, demands some work. Where is it going to be at, huh? There's work that has to be done. We need to focus on the future and not worry so much about what else we have going on with our immediate space. Remember, you're lighter now, okay? You are lighter spiritually, physically, everything. You just lighten up. You left the bags at the door. You're not carrying that 20-pound bag of flour. You're not carrying whatever else you were carrying. You're not carrying your preconceptions, mental preconceptions, or outdated actions. Instead of reaching for that bottle of whatever's is out in the kitchen, maybe you're reaching for water. Maybe you're making healthier choices. All right? We should really begin to focus on streamlining all of these actions.
We are in a new season, Halloween.
That's only part of it, though.
True.
Once we give up on the ego just a little bit, we make room for change in our lives. In other words, it's not like, well, I do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. No, this is mine. No, give it up. Give it up. Put it out there. Give a little bit of ownership to somebody else, maybe. Just a little bit, a little task or something. It's up to us to embrace that newly found freedom. We've given up on some old ideas of how we have to cope. Fit it in, or how we fit in, how we go about our days, or deal with our lives away from home. Creatively, we need to minimize the amount of self we pour into things that don't serve our higher goals.
I love that. That I am keeping in my pocket. That is going to be my mantra for this week, and goodness only knows how long.
Well, then let me repeat it for you. Creatively, we need to minimize the amount of self we pour into things that don't really serve us or our goals.
Yes.
We need to do the art thing, okay?
Yes.
We're in a creative phase right now. Do the research and actually write the book.
Yes.
Use this Scorpio season like a native of the sign.
Yes.
Plot, plan, conquer, and most of all, pay attention to your timing.
And that's going to bring us back, the timing, brings us back to Saturn at the gate. There's a water trine that's very cuspy. Air is involved, and that means there are big ideas that can come out of this waiting period.
That's right. It's like those two rocks in the puddle where those waves collide, and they form that area where it's like, ooh, it becomes a separate
that tension
point.
begins where
That's
it's
right.
yeah.
It just becomes a separate point where it's not really there, but there's a there's a crossing point right there where they intersect, and that still becomes the point. The next question is, how are we going to know what the timing is? How will we know what our best course of action is? The solar eclipse told us that we need to make some changes, renegotiate our work contract, our social contract, our partnership. We had to find newer common ground, new partners that can help us in some new ways of ultimately fulfilling our wants and needs.
Or just maybe see your own partner as just, see him fresh, just kind of reset. So you're speaking about Venusian desires.
Now that we are cleansed, our past foundations have been reset in some way. Think about it. Our base narrative shifts, and we now have a broader foundation to build upon. So we've taken old information, we've assimilated it, we've made it part of our story, our own story now, and we're ready to almost move that narrative forward as built upon this foundation, another layer on the cake. All right. I've got about 60 layers on my cake by now.
One for each year?
That's assuming they're a year. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I just feel, maybe I feel like there's 100. Who knows? Pluto is causing us to ask the right questions and direct our attention towards the end of the Taurus season. Think about it. Pluto is sitting there, and everybody's like, oh, my goodness, Pluto and Mars. Oh, there's a trine. Oh, it caused war and everything. Pluto's like, no, I don't cause war. War is caused by people.
Right.
War is caused by Mars. Now, there may be some kind of conditions that may favor that in the flow of things. But what Pluto's really asking you to do is, what are you willing to change? Were you willing to leave your baggage at the door? Did you leave your baggage at the door? If you did, then Pluto says, look, there's Capricorn. Saturn, as the gatekeeper, is sitting at the door saying, hey, you know what? Pluto might have a good idea, and I think this might work. However, let's focus on this thought for a second. I'm going to complete it. Pluto's causing us to ask the right questions and direct our attention to the end of the Taurus season, the coming Taurus season, 2024. Mars holds the key. Actions will definitely need to be taken. There's a whole lot of activity on Saturday of this week coming up that will need to be approached with a flourish.
A flourish, yes.
I've always flourished. That's my signature. My signature is a flourish. This will make all the more sense in August of 2024. We're getting real future focused on you now. We went the spring of 2024. Now we're going to the summer of 2024 when Mars and Jupiter are conjunct. Think about it. You got to plan for these things, right? This is the intention we will need to set on Saturday at the time of the eclipse.
Nice. Preparations indeed. Should probably light a candle and ring a bell. Seems pretty important.
Actions need to be focused around this time frame, okay? September and October of 2024 to me look to be a breakout time for us. That's where we're really focusing on. That's where our intentions are going to be set. Meaning all of us, you included. You hold the seeds now in your hand. Sort them out. Pick the best. And we're going to start these indoors and then pick our strongest plants.
I'm down for that. Nice plant analogy. And the lunar eclipse will be in Taurus, so that's more plant life.
That's right, another gardening.
Yeah.
So, but the problem we have here is that Taurus is opposite Scorpio. And that tension there, that tension between the two, can also be electric, okay? The electric energy between Taurus and Scorpio is going to cause lightning strikes all over the place. The eclipse is transformative. Boom! Lightning strikes around the castle. Start the generator. It lives. Just in time for Halloween, too. Black cats are dancing on my keyboard. Nothing else matters.
It's true. It's true. There's the, we have a couple little symbols on the keyboard, on the file for Sirius dancing across the keyboard.
Sirius did step on my keyboard for the very first time. Dog used to do it all the time. So
yeah, he told me about this yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, be still, my beating heart," just like Boogie. But on behalf of those not in the know, what really does the cat dancing on the keyboard?
What, the cat dancing on my keyboard, or do you mean finding the positive? Cats are a tremendous source of joy in my life. My writing connects me with this, my cats, and more. What does your creativity connect you with? That's the question. Mine connects me with cats, with the higher consciousness, with everything inside of me, and hopefully with inside all of you. Now, what does your creativity connect with? Hey, look, it's polyarts for polymaths, right? Stop worrying and make this a continuous thread, okay? It doesn't stop with 1 week to another week to another week, or 1 month to another month to another month.
It's always ongoing.
It's continuous.
Yeah,
you can do this.
Continuous reverberations from past aspects.
You have to remember that eclipse is just going to cycle around. It's not one singular event. It just kind of follows, and we'll help you figure out that following thing. We're going to follow it with you, okay? Are you ready for some best days? Are you ready for some best days?
Heck yeah.
All right, Carrie, I feel like I've talked enough. What's the best day for love?
That is Sunday. Just find what it is that you love and let it into your life. It will be both smart and beautiful.
And the best day for business?
That's going to be Saturday. Earth sign eclipse energy combines with Jupiter. This is going to be a fun 6 months.
All right. That's kind of where we were going with that whole cycle thing, right? And the best day for health will be?
That is Friday. We reset and begin again. Hopefully you remember the way.
And the best day for transformation?
That is all week long. Finally leaving behind those things that aren't working out. Ditching behaviors that weren't very productive and their enabling excuses. A new focus and drive that is grounded in creatively based actions.
Okay.
Woohoo.
All right. My goal here is to help you see the flow for what it is. There's a flow out there. It really is. I love the image of the staff striking the rock and the water flowing out. This is where we need to be energetically. We need to be at that spot where we just, bam, ask for it and it comes to us, okay? We now know that this rock can actually represent the very mechanisms that regulate time and order in the universe. We're no longer bound to just this planet. It's time for us to allow our mercurial capacity for understanding these mysteries to take over. Use your expansive mind. Wait.
Oh. Expansive in both mind and spirit. All encompassing. Just another week, right?
Yeah, just another week. Yeah, you skipped right over it. Like it was like, yeah, I'm not going to read that. Once you see yourself as part of this grand mechanism, how can we not reset what it is that we are thinking and expressing? Do it.
Yeah, I was just so into what you were saying that I just completely ignored my own. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Look, especially if this expression, what we're thinking and expressing, because believe it or not, you're going to express this more through your art and everything. Once you understand this more, you're going to draw on deeper sources. And you're going to be able to put this forward, especially if this expression enhances our understanding of this current cycle that we're in.
I am definitely going to have to read this over a couple times, or actually probably listen to it a few times, because this is the evolution of an idea. This is helping all of us to be able to change our focus and drive.
By integrating in this way, we align our energy with the same rules that keep our globe spinning. It's a beautiful energy, and we will need to remind ourselves periodically that we are part of this larger construct.
Larger construct that some folks may call God or the goddess or whatever you have.
Mm-hmm. My hope here is that you're able to walk away with a sense of just how important you are. By being here, you're taking a step in a direction that will help others realize what is going on is bigger than me versus you or us versus them. It's all of us supporting each other and doing the right thing. And trust me, when Pluto enters Aquarius, others will begin to know this too. That's all we have for you. Have a happy Astro Week.
Happy Astrocatting.
And we're good.
Yeah!
Did we record?
Oh, man.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.